to my channel. Y'all already know who it is, or you should know who it is. Six Figure Tasty Rika Rodrika, the CEO of iTasty Cosmetics. And y'all, when I say I've been doing, I'm so proud of myself, y'all, because I've been, it's so hard to stay motivated sometimes, but as much as I just be so unmotivated, I just have been pushing myself, and I pushed myself to have these back-to-back videos. I'm coming with the daily uploads, and I'm staying on top of myself. Like today is September 23rd, and this video is probably not going to come out till probably Saturday or Sunday because your girl is on top of her stuff. I'm coming with the back-to-back daily uploads, road to 2,000 subscribers, which is my September goal. So I hope, fingers crossed, I have 7 more days to achieve that. And let me tell y'all what I'm at right now. Hopefully by the time this video uploads, I'm already be at that. Because, you know, I'm the queen of manifestation. Like, we manifest over here. We write down our goals and we manifest. Right now, I'm at 1,979. So I have 20 more subbies to go. So I hope by the time this video uploads that I have reached 2,000 subscribers, and if not, I hope you help me reach it if you haven't already subscribed. But this video is on pop-up events. I already have a video on pop-up events, but I wanted to record another one because I still get asked a lot of questions, and I just wanted to cover everything in this video. So I have my notes in my phone. So first off, where to find pop-up events. Eventbrite is the only place I know of to find pop-up events. There might be others out there, but me personally, that's the only place I know of. That's the place I found a lot of my events. And most likely, most times, we're going to say most times, if it's on Eventbrite, it's legit. There are people out here scamming for pop-up events. I've been scammed out of $200 for a pop-up event. A lady, her event actually was on Eventbrite, but she did not want me to pay on Eventbrite. Usually, if I'm going to be a vendor at an event, I always reach out to the organizer first. And I definitely recommend you guys to do that. If you go on Eventbrite, you see an event, you're interested, don't just go and pay for a vendor fee. Go to the bottom of the page, reach out to the organizer and be like, hey, are y'all still looking for vendors? Because most times they're not looking for vendors. Sometimes they don't want some of the same vendors, and then you don't want to pay, and then they don't want you there. Like, reach out to them, be like, hey, I sell blah, 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 blah. Are y'all still looking for vendors? And it's going to email them, and hopefully they email you back. Sometimes they don't email you back, but if they don't email you back, it is what it is. But this event, it was on Eventbrite. I reached out to the organizer. She had me pay through Apple Pay, and this lady scammed me of $200 to this day. It was for a 2-day event to this day, y'all. But luckily, Wells Fargo gave me my money back, and I already sensed it was kind of fishy, but this is when I was first starting out. I went ahead, I did, but like I said, Wells Fargo gave me my money back, so it was no issues, but she did scam me of $200. So be careful, but Eventbrite is the best place to find events. Also, you can talk to people, local people in your area. Do y'all know of any pop-up events? One pop-up event that I did, it was a customer of mine who actually referred me. She literally, somebody posted on Snapchat, she sent me a screenshot, was like, hey, I thought you might be interested in it. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I reached out, they were still looking for vendors, and boom, I booked another pop-up event. And I didn't even say what pop-up events was at the beginning in case you're watching, you don't know what it is. But pop-up events is basically just like an event you go to and everybody's selling different stuff. That's basically my definition. I'm not about, like, you could Google, but let me get back to my notes, y'all. Let me get back to my notes. So, when it comes to pop-up events, you need to figure out what is included. Some pop-up events, the table is not included, the chair is not included. You need to know if it's an inside event, if it's an outside event, for you to be prepared. I've been to events where sometimes the table and chairs weren't included. I've been to events where it's not included. You have to provide your own. I've also been to events where you have to pay for them. So make sure you figure out all of these things before you actually book an event. You need to know if the table and chair is included. Do you have to pay, or do you have to bring your own? The next thing I wanted to touch on was whether it was indoor or outdoor, because some pop-up events, it's outdoor and they don't provide you with any type of sun. I'm trying to think of what I'm talking about. A tent. I've been to an event where they actually had the tables and the tables came with tents and stuff. Some places don't do that. You're going to be sitting out there in the hot sun at your pop-up event. You want to make sure you're prepared because pop-up events usually are about 4 hours. Every pop-up event I've been to is 4 hours, but it's technically like 6 for the vendors because you have to go an hour before to set up your table. Sometimes it's 2 hours. They want you to go an hour or 2 hours. I always go an hour ahead, but you have to go an hour to 2 hours before the event, and you have to stay an hour to 2 hours at the end of the event to pack up your stuff, etc., etc. The next thing on my list to talk about is what to bring. The things you definitely should have is tablecloth for one, and that's another thing you need to add to the list to ask the organizer. Is the tablecloth provided? I've been to events where the tablecloth was provided, and I've been to events where they're not. Some people have custom tablecloths. I usually just always go to Dollar Tree and get a dollar tablecloth, and so when I'm done I just trash it and move on to the next one. But eventually in the future I do want my own custom tablecloth with my logo on it, and I know how, like, I know you can go, there's different websites you could go to get it done, but eventually I do want one of those. But for now, Dollar Tree, $1, you get a plastic tablecloth and you throw it out at the end. You can reuse it too, but I always throw it out. Another thing you definitely should have is business cards. If you don't have business cards, you need some type of business cards, like some type. Well, even if you order just 50 just for the event, you need some type of business cards, because people will ask you for business cards, whether it's the organizer, whether it's, there's certain people that go to these events just to collect business cards and distribute them for you. So you always want to make sure you have lots of business cards at these events. And even with business cards, y'all, I'm talking too much and my mouth is getting dry. But even with these pop-up events with business cards, make sure you're physically getting people's contacts. Don't just hand them a business card and they're gonna lose it. You need if it's a vendor, like y'all are next to each other, don't just give her your business card. Hey, do you got an Instagram? Hey, do you got a Facebook? Hey, do you got blah, blah, blah? Let me follow you. Let me this. Physically add these people on social media. Now back to what I was gonna say about, as far as the payment goes, me personally, I do not have Square or any type of payment method when it comes to cards. I've been doing pop-up events for a year now. I've done several pop-up events. And to this day, I actually have my cash register right here. But y'all, excuse me, because I can't really talk. Like I said, I've been talking too much. I don't know where my keys are. Oh, wait, it's open. But my cash register happened to be next to me for the purpose of this video. But this is my cash register. I got this cash register on Amazon, and it has a coin section. I don't use the coin section, but it has a coin section and it has the money section. Back here is just where I also have a counterfeit pen. That's definitely, I got this on Amazon. So it's good to have one just in case. Like, always keep a counterfeit pen. When I used to work in fast food, we always had to mark 20s and up. So that's something you should be doing. If you receive 20s or up, mark them. But also, you don't want to be rude, you know, like marking people's money and they take offense to it. But this cash register, this is the only thing I have as far as money goes. I have my cash register and I accept Cash App. I don't have a card reader, and with those card reader stuff, they take percentages of your sales. So if you do have one of those, you have to take into consideration when pricing your items, because people's website prices are always different from their pop-up event prices. You need to take into consideration what you're going to price your items at if you're using a Square reader, because like I said, they take a percentage of your credit card transactions. So then they're going to be taking a cut from that. You also have to take into consideration the vendor fee. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. But like I said, all I accept is Cash App and cash. I've never had an issue. I probably only had 2 people ask me if I took card throughout all the pop-up events I've done, and I've done at least 10 pop-up events, and I've only had 2 people ask me as far as cards. And like I said, I don't plan on getting a card reader because that's not something I use in my day-to-day life anyway. Now, if I actually had a mini store or something where I sold my items, yes, it would be smart to invest in one of those to have, so you can accept all forms of payment. But the only time I would be using one is when I went to a pop-up event, which is probably once a month, maybe twice a month. But it's not to the point where I need to get one, because I'm going to be using it on a day-to-day basis. Like, oh, I'm going every day to this event, let me get a card reader. No. So don't let somebody tell you you need a card reader. You do not need a card reader at a pop-up event. Most likely people bring cash to these events anyway, and pretty much everybody has Cash App. People have Zelle. There's other ways to collect payment. There's other ways. But like I said, I got that off of Amazon. But on to the next topic. Another thing you should have is a banner. My banner, y'all be careful, because my banner, I did get it off Vistaprint, and I spelled my Instagram name wrong on the banner, so I don't like using it. But I do know that Office Depot, Office Max, they do print those out and do it the same day. So you should definitely check those out if you need a banner. I do want to get a new one done, but I'm still thinking about what exactly I want to put on it. Like, I don't know what I want to put on it really, because I want it to be like a cute little banner and not just my logo and stuff. So I'll think of what to do on it, and I have time to prepare for that because I'm not doing a pop-up event. I just did one, and I probably won't be doing one till probably like next month, because it's already the end of September. Now, as far as the pop-up events goes, do not overpack. And I do not overpack, y'all. Do not overpack. My very first event I did, y'all, when I say I packed so much stuff, I had suitcases full of stuff, I had boxes full of stuff, and it took me several trips back and forth to my car. Luckily my mom went with me to my very first one, and I packed so much stuff, and y'all, I didn't even make that much sales. Because why? It was a Christmas event, but not only that, it was a bunch of older people at this pop-up, so I made probably like 5 to 10 sales probably. But after out of all the stuff I brought, y'all, I sat here and made my table look. And I'm going to insert pictures in the video as I'm talking about the pop-up. I'm going to insert pictures so y'all can see my table setup. I didn't go all out because, like I said, this was my very first pop-up event. But I didn't make that many sales, and it's like I packed up all this stuff. My suggestion, depending on what you sell, is a 50-pound suitcase. Now, I literally have just one 50-pound suitcase, and I fit everything I am bringing to that suitcase, because either way, now when I do pop-ups, I'm doing them by myself. I'm not relying on somebody to go with me. And there's sometimes you go to pop-up events, and it's a walk. The parking lot is a walk from the actual event, and you don't want to be stuck. You're at a pop-up by yourself. You have all this stuff in your car to take, and you're scared to leave your stuff at the event because somebody might take it or touch it, and then you got to keep going back and forth to your car. Try and fit everything in one suitcase. Worst case scenario, they can order online. They can meet up with you. Most likely these people are local people in your area. Or you can have one suitcase and then just have an extra suitcase in your car of extra stuff that you know are your best sellers. Don't pack 3 to 10 suitcases. Y'all, don't do it, because you're going to be stuck, especially when the event is over, trying to pack up all this stuff. And then when you come back home, you got to unpack all this stuff and organize it back in your inventory. And when I tell y'all from experience, I did 2 pop-up events back to back, and I packed all this stuff. It took me weeks because I was just tired of looking at the stuff. I'm just like, I'm not about to take all this stuff out the suitcase. And then I was getting frustrated, so I just threw everything in the suitcase. So it's like, now I got to take this stuff out and try and figure out what goes where. The next thing I want to talk about is samples. Always have samples depending on what you sell. If you sell body butters, if you sell shampoos or conditioner, have samples. Even if it's a tiny little thing, have samples at your pop-up. Give it to the vendors. Like, I literally still have this sample, y'all. This sample was given to me. It's a candle sample from a lady who makes candles. It still smells amazing. Every time I open my cash register, I smell it. She gave me this little, and I have a melter to put it on, but I've just always had it in here because I'm scared to use it because it smells so good. But she literally gave me this square tube of a sample of her candle. Like, samples, samples, samples. The next thing I want to talk about is having a catchy table. You want your table to stand out more than anybody else at this event. I also am still working on this, but I'm telling y'all, if you think of something you can do, things you can put on your table to make it stand out, make people actually want to walk up to your table and be like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? That's what you want. You don't want somebody to just walk past your table and act like they don't see you. You want somebody to walk into the pop-up and their eyes automatically divert to where you are and want to walk to your table. Like I said, that's something I'm still working on. As of recently, my pop-up events have been a drive. I went to a pop-up event out of state, so I couldn't even bring my cash register with me because that's more weight. So I just put all my stuff in a money purse. But it's like, when I do local pop-up events, I'm going all out. But like I said, the last pop-up event I did was in Houston. That's 4 hours from me. So it's like I can't really do as much and bring all this stuff to make my table look like how I want it to look. There's people that have refreshments at their table, people that got candy at their table. Like, there's just different things people do, like I've seen at their tables, and you just want to do something different to make people actually want to go to your table and shop with you. The next thing I want to talk about, and the last thing I'm going to talk about, is do not focus on the sales. As much as you want to focus on getting your money back you paid, do not focus on the sales with your pop-up events, because it's going to make you frustrated. Yeah, I'm telling you, my very first pop-up event I spent what, $150 on that vendor table, and I didn't even make that money back, and I was just like, wow. But then again, you just got to be like, you can't really focus on making the sales. Focus on marketing and networking. Even if somebody does not shop with you that day, you don't know when they can shop with you in the future. So make sure you add. Even with me, anytime somebody shops with me in a pop-up event, y'all, I'm like, oh, do you have Instagram? Let me follow you on Instagram and be sure to tag me when you wear this purse. Oh, you have blah blah blah. Let me follow you on there. Oh, you have this. Let me follow you on there. Follow these people and make sure they follow you. Even if you don't follow them right there and then, make sure they're following you. I have so many people on my social media that I've met at pop-up events, and you establish relationships with them. Y'all end up helping each other out because they might know somebody who needs services that you offer, or you might know somebody that needs services that they offer, and it just works hand in hand. And networking and marketing is the best things about pop-up events. Even with the people that are not even vendors, there's people that go to these pop-up events and they're also going to network and tell you things that they got going on, and you like, they might be helping you. They might have something that can help you and your business. That's what I'm telling y'all. Networking. I don't like talking to people. I'm a very, very shy person. I'm so shy. I don't like talking to people. But when you go to these pop-up events, you gotta network. You gotta sit here and talk to people. Get up, go to another table, make friends with somebody, even if it's for 5 minutes. Network with these people. But that is pretty much it for this video. I hope, I wrote down, I covered everything I wrote in my notes. I hope if you're doing a pop-up event, you find this video helpful. Like I said, please do not focus on the sales. Do not focus on the sales. Focus on networking and marketing with these people. And even if you're not going to a pop-up event to be a vendor, there are free networking events out here, free pop-up events you can go to. Even if you're not a vendor, go there and network with other people. Talk to other people who are business owners, etc. But that's it for this video. Like I said, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe, and don't be a lurker. Don't be a lurker. Just go ahead. It's just a click. It's free. Subscribe. Follow on Instagram. The link is in the bio to shop. What else do I always say? I can't even think of what I always say. But we have more videos coming, so stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this video.